More I asked the Roman emperor. Yes, the Roman emperor replied, you can purchase any house in the Roman capital regardless of standing or whoever is currently occupying it. And I told the emperor that if I win I want the of Julius Caesar, and he said, oh, you want that house? It's a very nice house. Him and his family own it along with his wife. They will be very disappointed if you win today in the arena. And I said I will give him more than enough money for a new home and then some, so I will do your barbaric competition in the arena, but I want his house after I defeat your Roman champion gladiators. After that me and Xena found a motel inn and we made love again, and she was now pregnant with a baby girl, and I said to Xena, I want to name our next child Eve because you are pregnant again. And in that moment I said, you have no idea how much I love you. Words can't express the love I have for you, but I will tell you anyway. I love you more than my powers that stretch to the infinite. That's the best way I can describe it, and I can show you with my actions my love. And with that the time came, and I was now standing in the middle of the great Colosseum, and the crowd was shouting and cheering, and the emperor announced and raised his hand to silence the crowd in the arena. And the Roman emperor said, today we have a man that claims he's a god, and today if he proves himself a god, then I will allow him to be in a polygamous marriage with his many women, and I will even rewrite the laws to allow polygamous marriages in Rome if he defeats Rome's finest gladiators, and I will even give him a house here in the city where he can live amongst us lowly mortals. And then all of the intimidating men came into the arena. They were all very muscular and imposing gladiators, and in that moment I could read Xena's mind, and she said, it's a good thing that my husband actually does have the powers of a god, or I would be worried for his safety, because these gladiators are the finest ancient Greece and Rome have to offer. And then the emperor shouted, begin, and in that moment I transformed into my true Super Saiyan Beyonder form as my incredible Beyonder powers exploded forth. The audience present gasped in shock and horror as they realized that they might have actually offended a powerful god. I spoke in all of their minds, and I said, everyone hear me, I am the new god, the Beyonder, and you will not harm my family. And how dare you challenge me in a fight to the death? I am immortal, you fools. And as I levitated in the air, every human being present felt a sense of dread and overwhelming terror as I said knockout, and I used my ki blasts to knock out every one of the gladiators present in the middle of the arena. I arose into the air and I shouted, how dare you challenge me, you fools? I could destroy you all and this miserable planet. And I formed a massive blue ki ball above my head. As holding it above my head with both hands, I could hear the Roman emperor's thoughts, and he said, I have offended a very powerful god. I have to do something or say something before it's too late. And I smirked, and the emperor shouted, wait, please don't kill my people and don't destroy the planet. You can have whatever you want, just don't kill my people. And I lowered myself slowly to the ground. I said, wise decision, Roman emperor. And with that I could hear Xena's thoughts as she said, it seems Lilith will finally get what she wants. I had got what I wanted, a polygamous marriage in Julius Caesar's house in Rome. And when I met Julius, he knew of me from the arena, and I could read his thoughts. I knew he was still an evil man. He wanted to get on my good side so he could manipulate me to his benefit. I shook his hand and I pretended to be friends with him, not for him but for me and my family. I even paid him more than 4 times what his house was worth, and he thanked me for it. And I said, I will see you soon, Julius. As I formed all the bags of gold out of thin air, I gave them to Julius Caesar, and he was surprised, and he said, you really are a god, aren't you? And I said, well, really, I just consider myself a powerful being. My father is the one true god and the ruler and king of everything. And he asked, so is your father Zeus? And I replied, no, my father God is the king of kings. There's no one above him, especially that lowly god Zeus. And Julius Caesar asked, so you despise the Olympians? And I said, well, I see them as petulant children that are immature and bully mortals. I am nothing like them. They believe everyone, even mortals, are beneath them, but what they do not know is that my father created them along with all the titans and the primordials, and Zeus knows it. So if you ever meet the old man, ask him who it was that created the titans and the primordials, because it sure wasn't him. And Caesar said, I will ask him when I see him in death, I guess. And so the Carl Urban look-alike Julius Caesar walked away, contemplating how he can best use me in the future.